Yes. So, Dr. Swati, she's there. She's MRCOG, MS, and with a lot of degrees, a consultant gynecologist and laparoscopic surgeon, an infertility specialist at Dr. Bethune Nursing Home. She's also worked in the UK and as was in the Nine Wells Hospital in the Department of Gynae Laparoscopy and has done fellowship in reproductive medicine at the Chennai Hospital with Dr. Samundi Shankari, fellowship in advanced laparoscopy at Sunrise Hospital, Kochi, a fellowship in minimal access surgery at the World Laparoscopic Hospital, New Delhi, cleared MRCOG in the first attempt, very wonderful, and is an MS in Kempegowda Institute of Medical Sciences, Karnataka, from June 2015 to 18. She is going to be talking about, are you there, Dr. Swati?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So you're
Thank you
going to
for the
be
time.
talking about abstract writing
Yes.
to our listeners. Yes.
Yes.
Over to you. Are you able to share your screen?
Just let me see.
I think you are a co-host, so you should be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Just 1 second. Okay, I am not able to share my screen. I don't know.
Need to click on the green
Yeah.
share button.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then just share
Yeah.
the main desktop. Yes. Perfect.
Okay, is this, can everyone see the screen?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah. Good.
Okay, hi everyone. I made a very short presentation because I'm not an expert in abstract writing. So I tried to do my best. So an abstract is like a movie trailer, which helps you decide whether you want to read the full manuscript. So what is an abstract? An abstract is actually a concise summary for the full research paper. And it is like an elevator pitch, like you know when you meet someone important and you want to tell them something about your work. When they're going on the elevator, you just catch them and you try to give the summary in very short period of time. It is supposed to be like that. And it is a quick overview which gives the key findings and conclusions. And it is very crucial for indexing in databases like PubMed. So why do abstracts matter actually? So the main thing is discoverability. So actually when you search for any research papers, usually the results come from the abstracts. So the reader sees the abstract and he determines if he wants to go to the entire article, because most of the articles are actually behind paywalls. Like you need to pay for the journal before you can read the entire article. So what readers usually do is they read the abstract and then they decide if they want to pay for it. And usually when you send your paper to a journal or when you're sending your paper to present it in a conference, it is the abstract which decides whether your paper is published or to be presented. And it is actually very relevant for clinical decisions also. When we are in a dilemma, when we go to search for research on the particular topic, it is abstract which gives us a actual summary and helps us in making a decision. And it actually helps with medical research. So there are 4 types of abstracts. The first one is an informative abstract. This is the most common thing we must be used to seeing, where it is a summary of like methodology, results, and conclusions. The next type of abstract is a descriptive abstract, wherein they describe about the scope of the research they are doing without actually giving away the conclusion. The next type of abstract is a critical abstract, as in meta-analysis, systematic reviews. Those are the things which evaluate other studies or compare the studies with other studies or something like that. The other kind of abstract is a highlight abstract, which highlights only the key results of the particular study. So there are 2 types of presenting abstracts. The first kind is like a structured abstract, which we are most used to seeing, where it is all text and you see background, methods, results, and conclusions. And the other kind of abstract is a visual abstract, wherein instead of the text, you see a visual graphic. Most of the journals nowadays, they're actually asking for visual abstracts, which is actually new. It was not there when I was studying, but now most of the journals are requesting visual abstracts. So what is the step-by-step procedure for writing an abstract? The first thing is you should take a framework. Usually the most common framework used is the PICO framework. PICO means patients or participation, like what population are you including in the study, or what is the problem you are evaluating. I for intervention or whatever treatment or exposure you are going to do in the study. And C is for comparison, which groups are you comparing, and O is for outcome of the study. So you need to first make a framework, and then you need to draft a background wherein, so what is the problem that you are going to find a solution to, and does the research have a gap? I mean to say whether this problem is not being answered clearly in the research available at this point of time. So that is the research gap. If you can put 1 to 2 sentences about that research gap and how your paper helps to fill the gap, that would be a very good catching point. Then draft the methods wherein you take the design, like whether it's a prospective study, retrospective study, case control study, or cohort study. You need to make a decision regarding that. And then what are your participants, like what is your patient group and what is your control group, and what intervention are you doing. Then you need to draft the results, as in which kind of method are you using for statistical analysis. The most common thing which we say is p-values or relative risk, or whether there is causation or not. These are all the kind of results which you are going to do in the study. And then you need to make a conclusion. So this is my study and this is what I have concluded from the study. The most common thing and the most important thing which we have to include in the abstract is keywords. The success of your abstract and your research actually depends on the keywords. So whatever keywords you think are the most important, what keywords people use to search for this particular topic, those should be included in the title of the abstract, so that whenever anyone searches for that particular thing, your paper shows up. And citation, obviously. Then these are the guidelines for writing a structured abstract, as in it is like a text abstract, wherein first you understand what is the requirement from the journal or the conference where you are going to send your abstract, like the length and structure, as in there will usually be a limit of 250 to 300 words for an abstract. Then you should revisit your complete paper again, and you should familiarize yourself with all the key components of your paper. Then you need to outline the main points of the paper in each section. Then you need to expand this outline within the word limit, and then you need to refine and edit and take out all the complicated words or whatever you think people cannot understand, whatever things are repeated in the abstract, all of these need to be edited out. And then the final thing is send it to your colleagues and mentors, and then you ask them for suggestions to edit the abstract. The second kind of abstract is visual abstract. And how to write this visual abstract? Usually this is the structure of the visual abstract. So the first heading will be what is the title of the study or paper or whatever you're going to do. Then in the middle part, there should be a summary of outcomes. And in the end, there should be an author citation and which journal it is published from. Then in the middle part, in the summary of outcomes, you should make a visual display. For example, as they have shown here. So what is the decrease in need for blood transfusion, shorter length of stay, recovery of hemoglobin? This is actually a surgery study wherein they have compared surgical methods, and then what is the they have done a study on iron deficiency anemia before major abdominal surgery. So this is in this graphic way they have presented this abstract, so that whenever a person looks at it, it is very easy to understand the abstract. So visual abstracts actually increase article dissemination and impressions, and you can tweak these visual abstracts also so that they can be understood very easily and retweeted. And it has been shown that the visits to the article also increase tremendously when you make a visual abstract. So I just gave an example. For example, this is a structured abstract on your left and this is a visual abstract. So what would we like to read? I would gravitate obviously towards a visual abstract because it is very, very easy to understand. Then where do you take your inspiration from? Like to write an abstract, you should research the most published and most popular journals and how people are writing abstracts, where you can find visual abstract. These are a few websites which I have given where you can see research papers, especially in medicine. Then what are the qualities of a good abstract and what are the most common mistakes? First, it should be accurate. So the abstract should reflect what is in the research paper. And then it should be the particular number of words, and unnecessary phrases should be avoided. Each word you are using in an abstract should have a purpose. There should be no fluffy or extra words in the abstract. And it should be very easy to understand. We should not include many complex medical terms in the abstract. It should contain all the essential information. And even if the person doesn't read the complete paper, he should get a conclusion by reading this abstract. So what are the common mistakes? Too much background information and missing key details, like whatever, for example, your study has a relative risk or a p-value. You should include that in the abstract so that they know what is the significance of your findings. And then you should not use any abbreviations without defining them, because people might not know. Exceeding word or character limits or grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. Then typography, the font with which you use the abstract, like you type the abstract, is going to be very important, because you should select classic fonts like Arial, Calibri, or Times New Roman. And once anyone sees your abstract, it should be visually appealing. You should maintain the font sizes, like for heading and body text, and highlighting key information with bold or italics, and using graphic elements without overcrowding the text, and consistency in the style. The whole thing should be in the same font essentially, so that the polished final product will make the researcher go for the entire paper. So this is regarding how to make a visual abstract more pleasing to the eye. So first, get to know your audience and don't use too many colors. Align all the elements, prioritize the parts, highlight the heading, and you should invest a lot of time in finding the right imagery for your visual abstract and choose charts very carefully. So abstract is like a primary window into medical research. A well-crafted abstract determines the success of your research paper. So making abstract is actually a critical skill. I think we all need to include it in our curriculum and learn it better than what I have learned, particularly in my education. So I really thank everyone for giving me the opportunity. I think I'm the most junior person here. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Swati. That was pretty concise and to the point presentation. I would request Professor Geddes to give us some concluding remarks. You are mute, Professor Geddes. You are mute. You're mute. We can't hear
I
you.
can't hear you, sir.
Unmute.
Yeah. Now.
You sure you want to hear this? No, not you. Excellent speaker.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for giving a very clear presentation with no spelling or typographical irregularities.
Thank you, sir.
The most important point of no, not the most important point, but what is important is you have left plenty of time for questions and comments. You are leaving we are all your audience. We want to know more from you. Now, that is a very serious remark for an old man with no hair. Okay, that means you have not spoken for too long in your presentation, but given the key information and the key words. So what have I learned? Thank you for teaching me. Visual abstracts. I've never heard of it before. So when I wake up tomorrow morning and I say, what did I learn yesterday? I said, I learned about visual abstracts. So thank you again. Clear, concise, right? Informative, right?
Thank you, sir.
You have a very bright future ahead of you.
Thank you, sir.
The way the abstract should be clear, concise, and to the point, and informative. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Ma'am,
Should we
we
move
can't.
to the second talk? Or Professor Geddes, should we move to the next talk?
Oh, well, that's the timing. So, second talk, then questions. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So our next talk is by Dr. Srilata. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Srilata. Can you please display your CV? You can share the screen as well.
Oh.
So Dr. Srilata is going to be talking on the role of AI in publication. I think a very, very contemporary and an important topic in the current era. Yes, Dr. Srilata.
I probably have to search my CV. I thought I had already sent. No?
No worries. You can start
Okay.
sharing your screen as well.
I can start sharing, but a little bit of my background I can start on. First, let me share my screen and then I can talk a little bit. Am I audible or should I increase the volume?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Just a second. I shall share my screen. I think I should get it to full screen. Is it visible or is it in a short screen format?
No, it's in a short screen. You need to switch on the slideshow. The bottom icon needs to be clicked.
Oh, there, yeah.
Just go to the first slide first. You're
Yeah,
on
sure.
conclusion.
I know. Well, I've opened it in the Google Slides because I was editing and I didn't put it in the Microsoft. So I
Okay,
didn't put in
yeah.
the PowerPoint. It's in Google Slides.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit of my background. I've done my medical school from Meerut in the north, post-graduation from Chennai in Stanley Medical College. After that, I was in England for 15 years, back in India for the last decade, and I'm a practicing reproductive medicine and fertility specialist, and I do minimal access surgery. So I have Revive Clinics and Fertility Center in Hyderabad. Now this AI is everywhere, and I think for the last 2-3 years we have been seeing everybody talking about AI in all the conferences and everywhere. And the context and purpose of this talk, I believe, is to explore how AI is revolutionizing medical publications and why it matters, because it enhances the efficiency and accuracy. You know, we are at a stage where we can't go back. The technology is moving forward so quickly. The only way to go is to keep ourselves updated. So supports evidence-based medicine, addresses the growing demands for the rapid, high-quality publications, and I put a little bit of the context. And I think from what I understand, in the post-COVID era, just like we are having webinars, which probably weren't common, getting Professor Geddes on board as well. So post-COVID era has seen an unprecedented explosion of medical research, creating an urgent need for rapid and efficient dissemination, and especially of the critical findings. So traditional public methods, I'm sure if he's, as he's the editor of RBM Online, there are lengthy review circles. And you know, when you submit an abstract, there is something called reviewers fatigue. They used to just get fed up of illegible writing, illegible language, and lots of things. And now that the number of publications have gone up, we can make use of AI to understand the language, to make it concise. If you see, even for WhatsApp, when we open a publication paper, there's an AI assistant on top that says, do you want help? Do you want me to summarize this paper for you? So traditional methods are in no way able to keep pace with the way at which everything is expanding. So AI transformative solutions to these challenges are promising to enhance the scalability, the speed, and the overall efficiency of medical publishing. So traditionally, we used to have manuscript screening. Now they have manual NLP-based triage, means naturalized language processing, so that the language, whatever language they submit in, hopefully they'll be able to understand in the English. And peer review can be done with AI assisted suggestions. As I put here, at every stage, you need a human input. For those of us in India, we have seen robo also. And recently there was a news about AI going rogue and other things. So there always has to be a human element, but we take the assistant. And plagiarism checks are really good and quick when we have AI similarity tools and literature review. Now, this is something that takes lots of time. I'm sure the senior doctors agree with me. When you're trying to write a paper, it takes forever to go through literature. And this manual AI-based synthesis tools, they save so much of time for us. So AI in literature review, what does it do? We have Semantic Scholar. In fact, you have even this PubMed AI, elicit.org. They can scan thousands of articles very quickly, identify the relevant studies based on keywords, topics, and methodologies. They can, but we need to know what to ask. The prompt is the most important, the crux of the AI. They will identify the relevant studies, and many times they summarize, and they do summarize in the NLP. Complex papers are summarized. Saves time for researchers. And for example, AI identifies key trials. For example, you want to check for a new drug. You know, Elagolix has been in the market for a long time, but literally launched in India this year. So it can do it in minutes and make our lives much easier. Now, how do you accelerate literature reviews and meta-analysis? Because it gives critical, we have this pyramid of in vitro studies, animal studies, case reports, systemic reviews. So the foundational phase of research, like even when you want to write an abstract, we need to first identify the gaps in knowledge. So if the topic has already been proven, you don't waste your time reinventing the wheel. So yeah, it helps a lot in even making a paper or even making an abstract. I just put an old paper of mine. When I was writing this review, I had to research for almost 8 months. And they said for TOG review, you don't have to do anything up to date, because even for MRCOG exams, they used to say that the paper is set like with papers almost 1 year behind. So you don't need to be absolutely updated when you write the research, because it takes so much time. And with the advent of AI, I think the doctors who are taking up exam, they need to be absolutely updated, because very quickly the AI can get everything in place, and the publications are very much in the real timeline. So AI in manuscript writing. So first of all, writing assistant, we have tools like Grammarly and Writeful enhance the clarity and grammar. For those of us whose English is not the first language, we might have grammatical errors, and probably sometimes the sentence formation may not be as good. Previously, what we used to do, I always used to run my articles or anything through somebody whose first language is English. You have a friendly person or a doctor who says, would you please go through my article? Does it make sense? Now the AI will do it for you. So it might even suggest a precise medical terminology. Automated formatting. So for example, those of you who publish know the formats. They ask for Vancouver. I never understood why the number should come first or back or whatever. Chicago formatting. So every article has their own formatting, which is used in the citations. So this one can do it. All you have to ask is ask AI. Actually, as we are speaking, I have that Microsoft AI asking if I want to ask it something. I think there are these visual prompts, auditory prompts, and other things. So draft generation can generate initial drafts from the data of the outlines, reduces times for the busy clinicians, helps with voice commands and pictures. Sometimes you can say, while I'm making this is AI generated. Could you make a picture with anything where it says AI in manuscript writing, and then just brought this picture up. And if you like it, you can put, or you can personalize it, like say, can you put a picture with an Indian doctor not wearing a white jacket or whatever? Helps with voice commands and pictures, and you can make your presentation a bit more interesting. Microsoft Edge Copilot, this is the one which is popping up on the side of my screen. I'm almost dying to help me. Google Gemini and Meta AI on WhatsApp. So when my patient asks me, what are the statistics, doctor? You have your WhatsApp. They say, of this condition that I have, very rare condition. So what is the probability of my baby getting it? It was such a weird condition. I can't recall it. She had something which is rarest of the rare. So I brought it on Meta AI on my mobile, and I said, like, this is what it is. And does PGT help? No, it doesn't help, because the research, we have lots of gaps. So I sent her for genetic counseling, but I didn't look like a fool. I could tell her something, but I did admit my ignorance and asked Meta AI on this. And maybe it was smarter. They learn also. It kind of got used to the medical prompts that I give. So it gave me answers reasonably quickly. So data analysis, this is something which is like my previous doctor was speaking. It's all visual, graphic, you say abstracts and other things. So it's all visual. You look at the graphs and all. Previously, I used to struggle to get a statistics input. I actually bought a SPSS, some statistical software, and I used to try to do my own thing. And my statistician friend used to say, no, this is something not right. You need to use this to get the p-value and work out. Now, if you know where to ask for the questions, everything just comes up very quickly and detects patterns, correlations, and anomalies. Now, I'm telling all the positive aspects. I will also tell you about the downside of what it could do. Visualization, it actually creates publication ready charts and graphs. For example, heat maps for patients' outcomes or survival curves. You also have softwares that teach you how to use the Microsoft Excel sheets more effectively. Recently, my computer broke down for my egg pickup. So I bought another new ultrasound scan machine, which had AI incorporated in it. So for those of the junior doctors who don't know how to touch the scan machine, there is something called AI helper. You click on it and it says, hold it with your right hand, hold with your left hand, move it right and left. I was like, wow, it teaches you. You don't actually need a doctor to teach correctly. But of course, we need a human person around in case she drops the probe or damages the probe screen. So a benefit is improves the accuracy. Now this VOS viewer, if you want to know where the research is happening, it actually, you have to put a clinical question and it maps out, there is Harvard University research coming, what are the networks, where is it going? If I have to put in a question, is it relevant, or are people doing similar research in which parts of the world? Am I adding to the any deficiencies in the knowledge? So it's actually pretty easy, helpful in that way. So AI in manuscript writing and editing. So generative tools like ChatGPT, SciNote, PaperPal are becoming indispensable for authors these days. So they refine grammar, enhance language clarity, and even facilitating translation. Previously, when I used to go through the PubMed, it used to say article in France or article in German, and that's where it used to end. I used to just quote or cite the English language articles. So this way it's better cited. Maybe I'm missing a very important piece of research which will be addressed. Now, ethical conditions are paramount. It should always be an assistant. It's not an author. And in fact, smart AIs are also built to pick up any play that they are doing wrong. Say, for example, somebody is already copying something that's there, or something sound too artificial. Now, there was some case going on that this AI can go rogue. Somebody was trying to shut down an AI and open another AI app. That AI didn't want to be switched off. Some kind of intelligence they put into it. So it was messing up with the data, and there was some legal case going on against the creator of that AI. Major publishing bodies like the International Journal of Ethics and Nature are rapidly evolving these disclosure policies to ensure transparency regarding AI roles in manuscript preparation. So peer review and plagiarism detection. So automates initial manuscript screening for quality. So this is good for the person writing the paper, good for the reviewer, and it flags methodological flaws or statistical errors. So plagiarism detection. Previously, I used to use Turnitin or iAuthenticate to ensure originality. This is also included in the AI that chairs or checks. Compares manuscripts against vast databases. So impact is it streamlines the review process and ensures ethical publishing because of this. So it significantly enhances the integrity and efficiency. And there are also specialized tools like ProofDig. They detect image duplication. Now, not typically what we do, we used to copy the Google images, copy paste. And if it did not have any author or anybody claiming to be that, we could have used that image for ourselves if they don't have any authorship over. So if that the image says it has got authorship or anything, we used to send an email to that doctor, could we use this image in our publication? Now this one, ProofDig, does help you if the image is already used and if it's duplicated from some other article. It also assists in suggesting suitable peer reviewers. Say, for example, if you have done research and published in that particular area, the AI suggests this guy seems to be the right guy to be reviewing this paper. So utilizing tools like Scholar One's AI-driven features. So use this Scholar-driven driven AI feature, put this article and say, could you suggest some reviewers? And it probably gives us names, thereby reducing reviewer fatigue and accelerating the review cycle without compromising the quality. This was just put a recent review that I got from eJog, and again, that probably was AI driven. Publication accessibility, open access support. So AI identifies suitable open access journal for medical research, optimizes discoverability via metadata tagging, translation and localization into multiple languages. Therefore, the research is accessible anywhere in the world, even to the non-English speaking doctors. And AI-driven summaries for local languages also can be done. So AI and open access publishing, it's actually a catalyst for open access movement. So research can be reach a more global audience and beyond the traditional academic circles. Platforms like Explain Paper and Cite.ai leverage AI to, so this generates a concise summaries of very complex papers. And therefore there is a democratization of information, and it can make it easy for groundbreaking medical research for those who can benefit the most from them. So there will be a greater public health literacy informing evidence-based decision making. So journal search, when you're looking for a journal search, what can you do? There are matching tools, platforms like Journal Finder use AI to command journals based on manuscript content. It considers impact factors, scope, audience, etc. For example, in reproductive medicines, most of the AI tools, what I've noticed is that they quote either fertility, sterility, or human reproduction, which both have very high impact factors. They also quote the other articles, but not as much. And also because of this, it has led to some AI bias. There was somebody I heard put a case in the US that most of the medical articles quote the male first authors and they somehow ignore the female first authors and the authors from the Asia and other places. So yes, there is this skewing of the data, but if you want your article published in the Western papers like Human Reproduction, RBM Online, or Fertility and Sterility, we go for the male papers which have given the research. So hopefully in India also we may have some local AI, like just in the beginning of the article, Rupali has put in the IFS publication. So hopefully the AI could incorporate ours as well when they are quoting or giving recommendations for the doctors or the person doing the research. So for the doctors, saves time in searching the right journal and therefore increases the publication success. Ethical consideration, this is something I think this is the most important. There will always be a debate, but bias is there because risk-based outputs, if training data is skewed, depends on what they put into the AI. Underrepresentation of certain demographics, like I said, the papers that are published in the East, they don't receive that much representation, probably because it's in the local language, or maybe the West think they don't mean much, or maybe we haven't made an enough effort to be represented globally. Whatever it is, this has been. Hopefully, it will be corrected in the future. Recent reports about discrimination against the female and Asian authors, like I already mentioned before. Transparency, the AI tools must disclose their role. Human oversight, doctors must review AI-generated content for accuracy and ethics. Human right to privacy also. Now, we are just inviting everything into our homes. Only time will tell what, with the amount of access information it has, what could happen. So while it offers immense benefits, there are ethical challenges like authorship ambiguity when AI contributes to content creation, and potential for data bias embedded in algorithms requires careful consideration. There is a term called AI hallucinations. So it generates factually incorrect information, and plagiarism risks also necessitate robust safeguards. Solutions include implementing a human in the loop should always be there, and they are crucial to ensure responsible and ethical integration in publishing. Mitigating the risks for factually incorrect inputs is absolutely important, and I just highlighted whatever I mentioned here. So predictive analysis, AI predicts research trends or high impact topics, personalized publications, real-time updates and vision. I just put this because IFS is revising its flagship textbook of ART. And 3 years back, we had written this chapter and we are updating it. Actually, I used AI to, I asked AI about all the publications that have happened between 22 to 25 about uterine polyps, and I got a summary. So future potential, we will have real-time updates and personalized content for global reproductive medicine communities. Now, this is something that I was quite fascinated. You know, Apple has literally dropped a bomb on AI, OpenAI, as well as Google AI Gemini, the illusion of thinking. You know, when you actually type something, it says LLM, large language model. And then if you actually look into the AI apps such as Grok or ChatGPT, there's something called deep thinking. If you click on deep thinking, it thinks for 2 or 3 minutes and suddenly gives a long list. It goes through search everywhere. But actually, you can cheat it, and the reasoning can be pretty stupid if it doesn't have enough data or the person putting the input hasn't done enough reasoning. So what they have found is that the illusion of thinking, this was a recent June 2025 is when this was published by the Apple, that the large reasoning models that generate detailed thinking process before providing answers could be pretty false. It pretty much depends on your prompt question, and you can easily confuse the AI. So I would like you to bear that in mind. So what are the practical takeaways for the doctors? Adopt AI tools. Use AI for literature reviews, writing, data analysis as to help you and your busy clinical schedule. It can reduce your times. You have PubMed AI, you have EndNote with AI plugins. You know, there's AI in almost every system that you see online. ChatGPT can be there. Stay ethical, because the newly, very commonly these are coming. They can pick up, verify AI outputs and disclose AI use in publications. Collaborate, work with data scientists to leverage AI for complex studies. Upskill, learn the basic AI tools to stay competitive in research. And you know, the future of AI healthcare market in India, as most of us know, I think as doctors, we are probably a little bit laid back in use of technology and everything. But India is the techie to go place. So many IT, so many softwares. And apparently the AI has generated $758.8 million in 2023 from India alone. So just imagine the number of people buying this AI software from India. And it's expected to reach $8,728 million by 2030. So actually, we need to have an Indian AI rather than just like we have been using everything, so that the money could hopefully stay in India a little bit. So my conclusion is it streamlines literature review, writing, analysis, publishing, and enhances the efficiency and maintains the quality. So one of the most important thing that I have learned over the time, we have to give the correct prompt and learn Notebook LM. This really helps. It makes a little note for us and it quickly summarizes whatever we are doing. This is one of the most useful tools for the doctors learning to publish. Call to action, embrace AI as a tool to amplify your research impact. One of the concluding remarks that everybody says is machines will never replace a physician, but physicians who do not use AI will be replaced by physicians who do use AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Srilata. That was quite informative. Dr. Siddharth, are you there? Dr. Siddharth, would you like to give a concluding remark?
Yeah, thank you. So all the role of AI has been very comprehensively dealt with, and many regards to Dr. Srilata for making, because we always used to think that it is uh, something like I mean, it is not a good thing, and it will try to. There's a kind of lot of misuse of AI, but she has told in a very nice manner what are the good things what a researcher should know about the emerging role of AI. So many more thanks to her and regards.
We don't have any questions, but can I ask something, Dr. Srilata?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, which tool is your tool in going ahead in publication? I mean, when you talk of for maybe review of literature, which is the tool which you prefer when you are trying to do that? That's number one. And number two, as also as a reviewer, which is your most favored and accurate tool in your experience? Have you been using it? Uh, Review papers as well as for literature review, writing the literature review and discussions, etc.
When I'm actually searching, first thing I go for PubMed AI. PubMed AI just summarizes everything because it's got the most comprehensive review for everything. But when I want to write something, my question or anything, I write in Semantic Scholar. And then I also have a little side by notebook LM that will make a summary of everything. So I keep a notebook LM on the side, look in Semantic Scholar, it gives us prompts and I keep copying that. I put copy and paste in notebook LM. It summarizes and I say make it in 500 words. Like Dr. Swati said, you need the font should be good. Usually the publication says make it in Times Roman or whatever Arial. They usually specify the font. And when you write, it also says gives 2 spaces. It doesn't say write in the Word format. You need to leave a gap so that it's not, you don't write line after the other whenever we submit abstract or whatever. So they usually give a format, and also they give a format for citations. Most of the times they say Vancouver style or whatever. And in PubMed, it actually gives, there is something called citation index on the side. Whatever articles I write, I keep putting into that. And that citation format, you can choose. There's a drop down menu and you choose. So if I'm searching for any articles or just thinking of what I would like to publish, I go into Semantic Scholar and say any new ideas in endometriosis that I could publish from Indian perspective. Actually, there are so many, we don't have time to publish and all. We are such busy clinicians. It's like, wish we had some research nurse or somebody who could collect our data. We have really a wealth of data here. And then first thing is I just go into PubMed AI. That's the first one. And notebook LM on the side so that you can keep making a notes, copy paste the articles and it just summarizes and gives little notes for me.
Okay, great. And any tool for reviewing articles, like which you think would be could be suggested to our participants?
No, actually all these summarize. Semantic Scholar put that article and it summarizes for us. Even Notebook LM summarizes. So you know if that makes sense or not. And review articles, like I said, they use AI to pick up those people who have done a little bit of work in their job. So you have a fair idea. It summarizes and you know whether it's worth looking into that paper or not.
Okay.
I think Professor Geddes will know more. He's been the... It's unmute.
It's still not, no, it's not, it's still muted, Professor Geddes.
It's at the bottom. Could you unmute your screen?
Unmute. No.
Yes.
Unmute.
Unmute.
Yes, yes.
I am unmuted.
Yes, you are.
Poor things. So thank you. An excellent presentation. There are 2 aspects where AI, in my opinion, is solid. One is the review articles. So, for example, PubMed, as you mentioned. And the other to which you've referred, which I think is terribly important, is AI identification of reviewers of articles. And that system exists in a journal in which I am a section editor called, and it provides 40 or 50 names for me and the reasons why. And that is, in my opinion, very helpful for a journal. Right? Then the rest is in development. For example, Turnitin, 11% accuracy. not because I don't like Turnitin. I was surprised when preparing for your excellent presentation. I stumbled upon this article in the hard copy of the newspaper. I only buy 1 or 2 a week, right? And there it was. The other thing they referred to is to keep us, balanced, so that when the power breaks down, right, that we should know how to do things the traditional way.
Yes.
To do this in education, and what was suggested by the wise author was that education should take part in 2 places. One is called the cloister. One definition of the cloister is an enclosed space, right, where there are no distractions, equals no connectivity, no devices, right? Pen and paper, right?
Yeah.
7 hours a day, right? Then there is the spaceship Galactica, and that's where all the AI is. You can spend as long as you like there. The only requirement for a balanced education is cloister for some hours a week, and they refer to LLM, right? To which you referred, large language.
Yeah.
And so, all terribly important. But your wise final statement: doctors who do not use AI or scientific writers will not do as well as our colleagues who do. And that's why it's important to keep in touch with the developments. Oh, sorry, the last thing you got onto is gender discrimination.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Wow.
That I was shocked actually when I read. It's the AI who told me that female authors are not represented. I kept on asking different AIs, are these questions relevant? When I'm looking, is your literature up to date? And the AI itself, well, we don't have that much female representation. I am fed male authors, male white authors specifically. That's so sad.
Coming back to that subject. So gender and then racial. I think you said Asian and so on countries. That's not the case. No, hang on. The most common country of authorship, for frontiers and endocrinology, is China. Right? And
Yes.
China is not as wealthy per capita as India, right? And since money makes the world go round, right? Whatever the source of your information is, right, I expect will unwillingly change. Not because the men are all going to die off, right? They occasionally have their use, even in Kerala, right?
Yeah.
And Sorry, I talked too much. Time for a young person to say something. Dr. Savine, say something wise.
So I absolutely agree with you and Srilata.
You are very wise. Oh no.
This
With me or
sentence,
with Dr.
machines
Gotti?
will never replace a physician, but physicians who do not use AI will be replaced by physicians who do use, is an absolutely true sentence. That's what's going to happen in the future. And if anybody is listening to this webinar, I think they should be, if they haven't started using AI, they should start using it. Also, Srilata, tell me something. Do you feel that at some stage journals don't need reviewers and AI becomes the reviewers?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, everything is coming so fast. Who would have thought? You just asked. In fact, I wanted to make the slides, and what I thought was this, what's his name? Elon Musk made Grok. So I thought, let me give some work to Grok. I already made some slides. And I said, Grok, make me 10 slides about AI in publishing. So within like literally 0.3 seconds or something, it gave me 10 slides. So
But were they relevant 10 slides?
but they were like very generalized. So I
Yeah.
think, as you said, maybe we need to teach and maybe ask the right prompts. The more you ask, it auto learns itself, probably.
It will actually evolve probably, and
Evolve,
there may
yes,
actually
yes.
be grades of platforms. Some may be very super specialized on certain aspects, and some may be more super specialized on other aspects.
Yeah.
Could
So,
also.
and I actually talked a little bit about India. It knew very little, but the more I asked, the more it did its background research, and it tells me relevant things about India. Otherwise, whenever I ask, it just brings articles from the America or something.
Yeah.
So.
That's very interesting. And very interesting. The gender discrimination is really interesting.
I'll get the paper for you. I'll take the screenshot of AI where I got it from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
Quite
that is again
interesting.
the
Yes.
preliminary information that Elon Musk must have just put it in the open AI.
You know, a lot of people want to learn AI, but it's self-learning, I guess, but they
Yes.
would require a certain amount of, coaching on what exactly to do. And that's where many of people I've spoken to, they stop, they say, we don't know whether this is going to work or not. So IFS had organized AI classes. There were webinars on AI.
I think the only way is like I had never attended, but it's just sometimes it's very quick and easy. So you just start asking, and actually you can learn. What I feel the questions that it answers me is not the same answers that it gives to somebody else who hasn't used it as much. And it has got your storage, it has got all the memory of what I've asked over the last 2 years.
So the level it
In
has
the
to give you,
conclusion,
it knows already that the depth of research and level it needs to give you is
Yes,
already recorded there.
yes, yes.
yeah. And this time in Fertivision, we do have a workshop on AI in paper writing specifically, a dedicated 3-hour workshop for the same, just to let you know.
Any questions from the audience?
Nothing so far. Ma'am, would you like to conclude and find
Yeah,
out?
so I think this has been a great webinar, and both our speakers have been excellent. Each has dealt the topic to its very crux. And with Srilata, I think she is actually taught what to do. Like, I like the way she had put it, that I put the notebook on the side and I look at this particular website on one side. So she's actually coached whoever is listening. And we hope that people do take up AI in the right manner when they start writing.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, of course.
Thank you,
AI
Swati.
is a wonderful tool, but I think all of us still need to be aware about the entire information which AI is giving. There's a lot of talk about hallucinations related to AI, where AI might not be correct. I have myself seen researching on a topic where I got references where I cross-checked, went back to Google and cross-checked, and those references were nowhere found. They had been cooked by the AI itself, by the Chat GPT, etc.
Yeah.
itself. So
Yeah.
yes, it's a wonderful tool, but as of now, should be taken with a little bit of a caution.
I think you just have to counter check everything you get from there.
Yeah.
It
So
make
you
you the
can't just
summary, but you
completely
need to
rely
counter
on
check.
it as of now. Maybe with growing time, I'm sure things would improve. And we have specifically directed tools now. I think though they will be better rather than going for some generalized Chat GPT kind of a site. It's always better to look at Semantic Scholar and all that kind of it. Yeah. All right. With that, let's wind up. Thank you to all the speakers. A big thanks to both the chapters, the Andhra as well as Telangana, and to the wonderful lectures given by our both speakers. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
can, I think, exit.
Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rupali.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay.